Hey everybody, Charlie here. Welcome back to Prison Architect. I want to address two things. Okay? I want to look at two things. All right. The first thing to address is these guys are digging tunnels, right? This big long tunnel that was over here. So I went ahead and I set up a patrol route for the dogs here, right? But that's not gonna, like, that would detect these guys, but now I've made these two new cells. So this isn't gonna detect those guys. So I've got another one set up over here. And the reason why it's over here and not, like, I guess I could kind of do this, I guess. I could do that. The reason why it's kind of over here and not, like, in here is because these guys are always gonna tunnel the path of least resistance, and they're not smart enough to go around dog routes. So they're gonna come down here, they're gonna come down here, they're gonna follow this pipe, right? Because this is the path of least resistance. They're gonna follow the pipe all the way down, and then they're gonna start digging this way. That's why they dug there before. It's because as soon as they hit this pipe, they get real easy ticket digging all the way over to here, and then they just go this way, straight down. And so this new dog patrol route is gonna pick up and sniff out those tunnels before they can get out, all right? So we're gonna see how that works now too. And then this one will get some too, but we got some dogs in here. Now, the next thing I want to look at is Supermax. And I really, honestly, this is going to be a work in progress for a while, because the whole goal behind this is to attempt to minimize ongoing costs, okay? Supermax is an incredibly expensive endeavor in every prison. It costs you so much money. You do not make money on Supermax prisoners, period. You don't make money on them. I was asked a question on this. I want to explain this in the video too. I was asked a question on this, like, why don't you just intake Supermax people because you get more money, or legendary prisoners because you get more money? And the answer is you don't. Up front, a legendary prisoner is going to be worth $15,000. You might look at this and say, wow, that's 15 times what a maximum security prisoner is worth. And you're right, it is 15 times. But the chaos that prisoner is going to cause in your prison, the havoc they're going to wreak, it's going to cost you more in personnel. It's going to cost you more in, like, replacing personnel, of course. It's going to cost you more in replacing the property. Ongoing costs are way higher for that legendary prisoner. And you get the same amount of money payment to you every month, right? Or every day, the daily cash flow that you get for prisoners. Here, where's my finance tab? Right here. The federal grant money you get, prisoner grants, right? This dollar value is the same, whether it's a Supermax prisoner who's a legendary, or a maximum, or a medium. They pay you the same every day, okay? So you want prisoners that aren't gonna cause problems for you. Then you get paid and you don't have the ongoing expense of it. Right? That's the goal. So these guys were always gonna, I mean, look at all these cells. I'm trying to make them cheap, but I'm also trying to play to their needs. Also, it appears though Connigan is going to eat. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna go eat. And he's gonna go eat with this guard being in here. And see all these guys? Like, they're all in here, right? Other comment says, why don't you use access only? Again, I don't know why the orderlies are hanging around here. There's no reason for orderlies ever in this area. Like, there's just nothing for them to do here. I don't know why they're hanging out. I think they're bugged, honestly. Orderlies were bugged in the last series, right? You guys remember the last prison we did, the crazy prison? Orderlies were super bugged back then. Like, the infamous, we're going to sit on the toilet forever bug, right? That appears to be fixed, at least for this prison anyway. It appears to be fixed. In any case, though, we have, like, these guys who really, really need food, family, you know, all that stuff. And Lorenz here supposedly wants to transfer. Where is it? It's prisoner tab, right? Yeah. Go scroll down. Supposedly he wants to transfer to MaxSec. I'm not going to allow it, but you can try, right? You can certainly try. Come on up here. We got some people wanting to go to medium. Good. They're going to behave. And we got some people wanting to go. Look at this. Nobody wants to transfer to medium sec. I have 26. Only 26? I thought I had intake on a bunch. You know, there was some violence though. So the ones I intake, they probably got promoted, like moved up. I don't know. In any case, we got the dog routes sorted out here, and the eat times and stuff are sorted out up here. And hopefully they'll get food. They'll sit down. His needs will be met. He'll be much more happy because of his needs being met. Okay, and I also got this camera that's not connected. Weird. How did that happen? Excuse me? Any other cameras? No. Also, to answer the question, like how you connect multiple cameras without having to click on this again. Hold shift. Hold shift will keep it open. Allow you to keep connecting things. It's the same thing with the door controllers. So if you have other, you got the door controllers things set up, you can shift click on the door servos, and like this one here, for example, I can click it, and I get to keep clicking. As long as I hold shift, I get to keep clicking. It's a pretty common thing in video games, holding shift. I have a love-hate relationship with holding shift because when I forget to do it, everyone is like jumps on my case about it. So then when I remember to do it, it's like this common thing. Nobody's gonna praise me for doing it right, but when you do it wrong, oh boy, do they hate you? Okay, they hate on you, not hate you, but they hate on you. It's just it's the dilemma of being a video creator for YouTube. Really, you have to expect it. You have to expect people will just tell you all the things you do wrong all the time. It's a common trend. It's a growing trend, right? With YouTube comments, it's a growing thing, right? It's almost as popular as the instantly like my own comment because I think it will boost it up in the ratings or something trend. Like, what is that trend? There's like hundreds of people just instantly liking their own comments. I'm half tempted to just instantly delete anyone that does that. It's so obvious too. It's some of you guys do it, all right? I know some of you guys do it. I'm calling you out. I'm not gonna say your names, but I'm calling you out. Some of you guys do it consistently every time too. You can tell because the comment is like 9 seconds old and there's already a like on it. Sure. It's real easy. In any case, Paul's coming on back in here. And anyway, so going along the access only comments, right? This is already access only. I mean, I've been using this the entire time, right? But the problem is access only, if you read the description of this, it says, we'll try to avoid access only zones if possible, preferring to take other routes around your prison. The if possible part is the key here. It's not possible to get there. And this is the difference. I figured it out. Why are they all like gathering right here instead of other? Well, it's because there's only one way in, right? And that's by design. The last time we did a prison like this, there was a second way in. That's why. So we need to get a second way in. And we need that way in to be good for staff, rapid movement for staff, but to be more of a burden for the Supermax. So what I'm gonna do instead here, a little bit different, is I'm gonna dismantle this door. Well, once I build the other thing, I'm gonna make this route much more fluid to move through because then it promotes them to just run. I want them to be promoted to just run through here so that the snipers can do their job, right? But without the snipers being able to do their job on this, that's the problem. And then again, I got barbed wire on all these things because I kind of want them to try and climb because climbing takes time. They'll get cut by the barbed wire. Climbing takes time. They'll get cut by the barbed wire. Climbing takes time. Rinse and repeat, right? And while all that's happening, they're getting shot at or, as soon as they get out here, the problem with this, though, is that prisoners are, like, the snipers will shoot to kill if the prisoner is escaping and they are going to get away without shooting them. And as long as I have this fence out like this, then this is considered secured. And so the snipers won't shoot to kill. It's one of the reasons why I did it. Because, again, I'm not somebody who plays this game and says, I'm going to put armed guards on Free Fire in this place to kill these guys because they're too much of a burden. I would like to play the game the way I believe it's designed to play. And that is that you want to contain, not kill your inmates, right? That's my job as a prison warden, as someone who's managing a prison. It's to keep these people out of society, not kill them, okay? And that's how I like to play the game. So if I can solve a puzzle where these guys are somewhat neutralized and away from society, again, role-playing this, but not like cop out, so to speak, by just being like, hey, cool, shotgun in the face. Haha, I win, I'm the better player. I don't do that. I don't consider that to be the better player. I want to find a solution that doesn't involve killing my inmates. So going along that note, we're gonna have maximum security coming in here. And hopefully they won't fight. There's a lot of them, too. Are there any informant possibilities? No, I'm surprised also. I don't see hardly any people that I have to protect yet. Have you noticed how weird that is? I mean, maybe some of these question marks are. I don't have an informant that's capable of like telling me these guys. They're not acting up as much because of well, they want to go to a new place. They want more privileges and they're not acting up, right? And because of that, it's like, it's really hard to get an informant. So like I have Adam Gibbs and I can activate him and bring him in to security. And we'll see what he tells me. He's got 42% coverage. And yeah, with his 42%, I can see that this cell has a lot of contraband. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. And then there's also some scissors that's been smuggled in over there. And then it looks like he's got something in his cell. So we can get him in solitary confinement. Got something in that kitchen too. So now when you do this, right, here's a tip for newer players. Okay, it's kind of a meta game tactic, really, but it works. So Adam gives us 42% coverage. Notice how there's this line that says suspicion. And the more stuff you act upon while he's in here, the higher the suspicion gets. And if the suspicion is basically a representation of the chances that he'll be sort of targeted or discovered as someone who, like, if the rest of the prison thinks he's a snitch, right? You're ratting us out. So what you do here is you kind of make a mental note of all the things you want to do, and then you deactivate him and then act upon the information. If he's deactivated, when you act upon the information, it won't come back to him. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and search Chisholm here. Is that his name? Yeah. So I can tell that he has rope. So I'm going to search him. Then I'm going to search this cell. And then I'm going to go ahead and search that box, this box, and this guy's cell. I'm going to try to cover the entire thing, and I'm not going to remember all of it, but I'm going to try to cover the entire thing after I've deactivated him, right? So to do that, we're just going to go, I think it's, which one is it? I think it's this box. It's one of these two boxes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say off. He's deactivated. So now we can't see that information. But what we can do is find these guys, and we can search them. So search that prisoner, mark him for search, and then we're going to come over to this cell, and we're going to say search the cell, and we're going to come over here. We're going to say search the stack, come over to the other kitchen, which is right here. We're going to search these two boxes, and we're going to come down here and search this guy's cell, and probably him too. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to let me, which is kind of odd. I don't know why it's not letting me search him, but it's not. And again, the janitors and stuff are walking through here because they have to clean. So what I think I want to do here is we're going to create a new path. I'm going to move these remote doors. We're going to start with this one. I'm going to remove this remote door over to here. Okay, and then I'm going to move the door servo as well over to here. Okay. This is going to take some time because, you know, workmen have to get on it. But once I do that, there's only one door here, and then there's one door here. Then I'm going to put another door there. So there'll be two remote doors that come into this area, and then we can, like, you know, phase this out. But this allows staff to get in through this way so that the recommended escape path for these guys is the path of least resistance. That's going to be this direction, right? Because there's only this one door. And then what I can do is, I think I will most likely, I'm going to try anyway, to, I need to find a way to, let's lock this open. I need to find a way to make this path basically resistance free to get into this area. Because then, you know, prisoners won't necessarily want to go through here. They may still want to go this way. So maybe I'll need 3 or 4 doors here. Boom, 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 boom. Like 3 or 4 remote doors as they move through here. Just to make this path really resistant. They're not going to want to go through here. They're going to want to go that way. And that's the point. I want them to want to go that way. Because this is where I have all the coverage, right? Okay, taser rollout is done. But I lack the funds to actually properly do that. So we're going to have to wait until I have some money. Which is going to take a bit. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. See, I hesitate to want to, like, forgive his punishment because he'll probably act up again. And, like, again, with the dogs and stuff, they're just, like, they are not... They don't seem to be, anyway. The dogs don't seem to be hindered by... Oh, see, snipers are bugged again. Here we go. They don't seem to be hindered by movement in the mud. It's only the dog handlers. So you end up with the handler being way back here and the dog just basically dying because he's solo against the legendary prisoners, right? Same thing with these janitors. They are so persistent on cleaning this area, you know? Like, they really want to clean here. There's constantly a flow of janitors every day in here. It's kind of nuts, honestly. Like, they're so persistent on cleaning these cells. Is this a drug overdose or extremely deadly? I was gonna redo the yard and introduce a track, but now I'm thinking negative on that. I'm thinking I'm not gonna do that because I don't have the money right now. I'm gonna let this play out just a little bit. I'm trying to install these doors, right? So I'm gonna let this play out a little bit. I might need to buy a couple more doors to put in here just to, like, help. Maybe we go like this. We go bam and then bam. And then we'll put more remote doors again, like through here. Maybe it doesn't have to be remote doors on the insides. I just want remote doors here and here. It could be cheaper doors, I guess, through here. Just like not like cheap, but like remote doors are $500. This is $600 and this is $500. So I guess it's all the same. We'll go like this with remote doors. That's $1,000. We'll also need door servos for those, so that's another, you know, bit of cash. And then we'll want to we're gonna lock that open for now. I like how they always install the door before the servo. So, like, you can't open it. Oh, they did. Oh, never mind. You know what? Ignore me, okay? I'm wrong. It happens. Look at these guys. Yeah, so this remote door is actually kind of a problem because it's going to obstruct the flow of traffic for this. So I'm going to move this door, actually. We're going to move it right here. Right here, and then the servo goes right here as well. And then we'll have a wall there. Right. The idea behind this is to make this path really obstructed, make it really protected, so that the prisoners don't want to go this way, because it's just too difficult to get this way. And then, of course, this is supposed to be staff only. Get the hell out of there, prisoners. Yeah, Get out. And then once this is all, like, locked down now, we can go ahead and take this door and open it up. There we go. And then take the door controller. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, now these can all open. But to help these in opening on the way in, we're going to put in these pressure pads right here. Bam, bam, and bam. These pressure pads will open the door so that staff moving through into the area is really quick. I'm not going to do that on the way out. There we go. Take this pressure pad, connect it there. So as they move in, it's really quick. But if they want to come back out, then they need permission, right? This just is going to speed up the workflow so that I don't need multiple door controllers, like constantly opening doors on every side. All right, so these are going to take care of that. Now what I should be able to do, theoretically, is I should be able to drop in another door. This remote door. I should be able to drop this door in now. And a door servo on this door. Actually, no, let's not do that. Did I already pay for it? Frick, I probably already paid for it. Yeah, I did. I already paid for it. All right, well, we'll let him install it then. Put that there too. Yep. And then Well, we're going to go ahead and remove this. All right. So we're going to just take and dismantle this and dismantle this. Okay. Look at all these janitors. Like, what is the deal with this area? Are you trying to clean the dirt? Like, where are you going? I guess it's like all of this. I was like, are you trying to clean this? Like, this seems silly. It just seems silly. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have deployment. So we've got this access only, right? So you only come in here if you absolutely have to. And now you don't have to clean this, right? And that's probably why all the janitors are in, because this is considered indoors. That's gotta be why. Door controller. We're probably gonna need a second door controller actually now. Probably. There's just too many doors for them to open. And like, I'm getting a little bit tight on cash. I think we can handle it with one more. Getting a little bit snug here on the cash situation. I'm gonna put this right here, I think. Right there is fine. Get them a chair. I don't care where. It doesn't matter. Install this. And excuse me? Like, my deployments are always screwed up. And I don't know what it is. Like, I set them as staff only. Armory. I set the staff only all the time. Kennel. Same thing. And no matter how many times I click staff only on these, it changes them. At some point, they get changed, right? I don't know when it happens. I don't know what I do to cause it to change. But at some point, it gets changed. Even that little toilet. And as soon as it does and I don't notice it, you guys notice it and tell me. And it's like, I set this thing 3 times already, you know, like twice off the air, just like fiddling around, trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the next video, right? I'll be like, oh, why is that? And I'll click it. And it's like these staff only areas just keep becoming unstaff only, you know? And I mean, I think it has a lot to do with, you know, the outside areas. For some of these things, it has to do with the outside areas, right? We're just... like that's showers, but for some reason the showers are not. Yeah, it's really bizarre. I don't know. It's just like you change one thing, right? And like maybe you change the door out. It's probably what it is this time around because it was normal standard door, right? And it was staff only. I swapped the door to a solitary door, and that opened it up, and then I never changed it back. I don't know, but I don't know what the excuse is for the kennel. I suppose that's because I put this door in and this door in to the outside. So when I did that, it switched it to. I don't know. It's okay. It's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. All right. So this is now access only, and we shouldn't see any traffic through here anymore. All the staff who want to get into this area should be coming through this area next. So now we're gonna take and demolish these walls. Okay. We're gonna demolish these walls, and this is gonna again allow passage through here for the staff, but it's gonna be very obstructed. Like, they still can't get here. That's why this janitor is still in here. But as soon as this gets opened up, today, workmen, today, where are they? There they are. Hi. Right? So all of this is happening. And then I actually do want to, should I close this? I know I just opened it, but I feel like I might be able to. So I don't have to. Okay, good. I don't have to close it. So this is considered outdoors and this is considered indoors. And as a result, I can have them in 2 different deployments like this. So that's good. So this will be a Supermax only thing. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do to kind of make this path smooth without, well, it's outdoors, right? So I think I don't need this door. I think I can get rid of the door. Let me dismantle. I'm gonna think about this for a second because there's got to be a smoother way, right? The promotion is, hey, Supermax, you should totally go this way if you want to escape, and staff, you should be coming in the back and leaving quickly, right? That's the workflow. And part of me actually says, why don't I just make all of this outdoors right now? I don't see why I don't. Is it gonna cost me money to do that? It doesn't look like it. All of this probably should be outdoors, honestly. I'm gonna do that, and that way the janitors don't even come in here. Right? Whoops, not this. Leave that alone. I actually don't remember what parts I've already marked and which parts I haven't. It looks like I can't cancel the bulldozer. Why? Thank you. It wasn't letting me cancel it. All right, and then right there. That means we don't need the radiator. And then again, like cancel, please. Cancel the bulldoze, please. I'll be right back. I'm gonna figure this out. All right, so I've got the workmen working on this, but they're still moving through here when the prisoners are, and that sucks. So what I'm gonna do here is change this up a little bit. In addition to access only, which apparently means nothing to these fools. I'm gonna go staff only here too. In addition to that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up these directional arrows. And what I've got is others. This is non-prisoners, the way to help keep the flow of people in the prison. So I'm assuming that others is staff. I don't know if that's the case, but there's a prisoner one, there's a visitor one, and then there's others. I assume that's cooks and workmen and all that stuff. So I've got this set up in a direction like this so that these guys can only move. Staff should only move out this way. But since they are still going through here to get out, this hallway, I'm gonna go like this. So you can hardly see it, but basically, there are now arrows going that direction only and this direction only. What that should do is prevent any staff from walking in here because, well, that's what it should do. There doesn't seem to be cohesion here. So apparently others don't mean staff, which is so dumb, by the way. The fact that there's not a way. The fact that there's not a way to restrict staff movements is a mishap in this game. Like, there needs to be a way for me to say, hey, staff, you're not allowed to do this, and they should just not do it. But there doesn't seem to be a way. So regardless of access only, and regardless of even directional arrows, they won't listen. That's what it seems to be. That's what it looks like to me. Also, they're not putting this in. Well, actually, they're working on it. He's coming to do it right now. All right, so we should have the... Yeah, all this stuff should be back and working again. Now, I'm going to take one more... Where is it? The floodlights. I'm going to take one more floodlight and just point it this way now, too. That way I have lights pointing on this side, too. So this is all outdoors. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Got a bit of a security issue. Actually, I think it's a derelict wall. In any case, we got a bit of a security issue here. But the idea here is, hopefully anyway, is that it's so much more intensive. It takes so much more effort. Okay, he's acting up. Now let's see what happens here. He's acting up. Okay. He's coming out of his cell, right? He's coming over here. Snipers are on the case. Right? Snipers are on the case. Frickin' guard dogs! Like, I don't know how to keep the guard dogs out of here. Like, there needs to be a way. That needs to be a thing. Is there a mod that does it? I'm gonna look it up. There needs to be a mod. There needs to be some sort of setting that says staff don't go here, right? So that this is possible. So that they're only in here when it's absolutely necessary. Because this dog, Pickles, is gonna die. Unless I take the guard handler and tell her to go this way. And now, if I tell the handler to go this way, nope, doesn't matter. I gotta keep doing this in order to get that dog to return to its handler. It's pretty nonsense, don't you think? It's pretty much nonsense. And again, the sniper's not shooting. I'm not entirely sure the logic behind that. And also why the other one isn't shooting. I guess it's because it's exhausted, but like they should both be shooting at this guy. But they're not. And now we've got Pickles here who is going to pick a fight and lose because that's just the way it is. And there's no way to keep staff out of this area. Damn it, Pickles, leave him alone. Here we go. He's gonna walk through here. He's gonna... Oh, it's Pickles. Pickles. I'm gonna fire this guy. In a second, he's gonna get fired. Like, get your... All right, he's fired. Get your dog under control, man. Jesus Christ. Armed guard, go this way. Honestly, now we've got so many... Oh, my God. I can't keep them out, guys. I can't keep these dogs from going after this guy. It's like there needs to be a way to do that. That's unfortunate. There really needs to be a way to do that to prevent staff from doing this, because this dog is gonna get killed. It's just dead immediately, and I can't do anything about it. This is the first time he's been injured. We got snipers looking at him saying, "Hey, I need to shoot him," and yet nothing has happened. You know, that's a real unfortunate case. And now I've got 3 staff. Now 4 staff have died on duty. You know? That's really unfortunate. Dogs, instantly. They're just here, right away. How do I prevent that? I mean, they're coming through here. This is how they're getting there so quickly. Maybe it's just if I disable this door, maybe it's just a matter of speed, right? Like, maybe I don't want the pressure pads? Oh, shit. Now he's out. They're going to kill Workman. Shoot him! See, now the taser worked. Okay, so that worked as intended, right? The taser went between, like, through the fence, right? That worked as intended, but he's still trying to escape. And I assume we have shots happening at some point here. I assume there will be a gunshot or 2 or 4 or 5. Shoot him. Wow. Wow. Nothing. He's like redlining, but he's missing. He has no damage at all. There we go. Get him. Get him. Bite his head off. Bite his head off. Shoot him in the face. Well, not in the face, but like, you know, in the leg. You know, damage him in some way. Oh my God. He's just gonna run away. Oh, guards. Seriously, guards. Honestly, this is happening now. Do you see that? That's why we don't use armed guards. Do you see that? I want to just point that out. Armed guards are useless. That's why we don't use them. Because it doesn't matter. And now the dog is dead. It's like this should never happen that way, right? Like snipers, that should never happen that way. That shouldn't be possible. Like, just like take a moment and think about this. We have multiple I think they nerfed this. I think they changed the way this worked from the last time we did this. Because that shouldn't be possible. 4 snipers with vision of this guy. Only one of them are going to shoot him at a time. I know that. That's why there's so many towers. It's like if there's a mass escape, we can cover them all. Or if one of them's off their post, the other ones will take over, right? Like, I get that. But he climbs over this barbed wire fence, gets harmed, climbs back, gets harmed. We're shooting at him repetitively. The only thing I can think of, honestly, is doing free fire. Which is not what I want to do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do free fire. I just, that's not how I like to play this game. But if I don't do that, like this guy, they're overpowered, right? Legendary prisoners are always overpowered in Prison Architect. They're unrealistically overpowered, right? The fact that they can bust down a steel door with their bare hands is testament to how overpowered they are. But this, like, that should not happen. This fight should never have taken place. You know? And armed guards, again, they die right away. Bam, done. Like, there is no point to having them in the game. Because that fearless trait, combined with extremely deadly, means that this guy will kill any guard in one shot. It can happen. And unless you use free fire, which clearly doesn't matter, because he's being shot at by the sniper. I think so. I think that's the only way to do it. I hate it. I hate doing that. And again, why is this not? It's now it's not. No, it's not. Oh, because it's all outdoors. That's why. It's all outdoors now. It makes sense. because we used to be outdoors here and indoors here, and when I made the whole thing outdoors, it combined the sections, and then yeah, it's just it just doesn't. I guess that's. There was a system that this used to work. This used to be a thing. It worked for us for 2 whole prisons. This doesn't matter anymore. Hang on. This whole system was perfect before. And now it clearly won't work anymore. Maybe they changed it because it was really hard. But again, the fact that there's no way to limit staff movements, like this doctor should not be able to come through here. Because I have the direction specifically marked to prevent them from accessing, like they can only move one direction, right? And they're not listening to that. Hint to non-prisoners on which way to go. Helps to control the flow of people in your prison, except when it doesn't work. Which is now. So, yeah. I don't know, guys. Maybe I've never used Free Fire. I've never, I can't say I've never used Free. I mean, I got over 2,000 hours in Prison Architect. Okay, this is not like I'm not new to this game. Okay, Paradox doesn't team up with somebody to introduce DLC if you're brand new to the game. Okay, but this used to work, and it still does. I still contest that this would work if they paid attention to what I asked them to do. If they stayed out of here because it's access only, right? Which again, access only doesn't mean staff won't go in here. Access only simply means that they will only go this way if there is no other way to go. I mean, that's all that means. Which I contest that there is no other way to go if you want to be here. But if you want to be here, then there is absolutely another place to go. You go through here. It's a pain in the ass, but you can go there. And it's not marked access only. At least it is. Actually, it is now because this is all flowed together, right? So now it is. So if I want to make this access only again, I guess what you do is you set up a fence like this. And you put a fence door in, I guess. Only guards can open. Only staff can open. I don't know. Just do this. We do this fence right here, and then I can lock this then to access only again. And then again, they should move that way. They should move that way now, not this way, right? Always. And so now with this being done, I should now be able to say access only here. Lock that down. Have this be staff only. And then just remove. These aren't cells anymore. I've removed them as cells. But that should, I mean, that's the theoreticals, right? The hypotheticals, whatever you want to call it, right? This should prevent staff from going in here ever. And like the fact that gardeners are sweeping the mud is just humorous to me. Like, why are you sweeping the mud? And he's also coming in here, right? Like he is traveling in here, and he's going against the flow that I've told him to go, and there is no way to stop him from doing that. I mean, there's no way to stop him. Prioritize area for the gardeners. I want you to prioritize. I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed with how this is working. I gotta say, there's been very few instances in my prison architect history, if you will, where I was disappointed with how the game works. Like, there's limitations, I can get around them, but I'm actually legitimately disappointed with the lack of ability to restrict staff movements. You know, you can easily tell. You can tell your staff, I want you in a certain place, but you cannot tell your staff that I don't want you in a certain place, which is really odd. Also, I changed the parole rooms. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video or not. So I changed the parole rooms. So you were absolutely right about how parole only works with one at a time. We have 2 appointments per time slot now, right? For parole. And I have been getting some early prisoner releases, so that's why my money hasn't dropped that much. But anyway, I changed it to where this is a parole room with 1 table, which is kind of like, you know, whatever. I can move the table in the middle or something to make it look better. And then this down here is a parole room, which takes them into these tables partially. But I think the middle of the table is what determines where the table is. So this tile here and this tile here are visitation, but this tile here is parole, because parole has this silly room size requirement where you have to make it 5 by 5. And I might install a mod actually that removes this, because I think there are mods that remove the minimum size requirements for some rooms. In my opinion, the room does not need to be 5 by 5. That's kind of a silly requirement for a parole room, but especially when visitation has no such requirements. It just has to be indoors with a table, you know. So I've got that's our visitation now. It's kind of a weird shape, and our paroles are looking like this. So yeah, there you go. And then these cells still exist. Is there anybody that's up for transfer right now? I always go to the transfers tab to see transfer eligibility. I find that's more intuitive than going to the prisoners tab for it. I don't know, maybe it's like it's one of those things where, like, once you set it up and you see how it works and you see how they've laid it out, you'll have this tendency where you want to click something. And it makes more sense to me in my head when I'm looking at this with just tabs showing to click transfers to see how, like, to see whether or not there's any pending transfers. The transfers tab is meant to set criteria for transfers, but I feel like that should be a policy. Just like all the other stuff is a policy. Like this section here, misconduct, I feel like transfers policy should be with this. Like as another section above it. Right? Does anyone else play the game feel that way? Like, does anyone who plays this game, right? Like if you're playing this and you're playing this DLC, do you find yourself, well, first off, when you like your tendencies, right? Gameplay tendencies. I'm just curious here, right? Your gameplay tendencies. Do you find yourself when you want to go see about your prisoners, do you click here? Like, do you click this prisoner area right here? Because I know that, like, this is pretty intuitive, right? You can see the section immediately that pertains to these figures, right? That's a very intuitive system. I like that, right? You click the day, you see the regime. You click the money, you see your finances, right? You see your balance. It takes you to your grants and your bank balance, right? I mean, that's what that does. But so I click my prisoners, and that's fine. But I also have a tendency to click this to open up the tab. Like this, like my instant go-to, sort of like clicking this, right? Or clicking this for intake, right? Like, where do you click when you want to open things? And I guess my follow-up to that is when you are looking at something and you're in your programs or whatever, and you're like, I wonder if there's anybody that's up for transfer. Do you find yourself clicking the transfers tab to see whether or not there's anyone for transfer? Or are you actually instinctively going to the prisoners tab? It's more like a question of curiosity in terms of like how people think, right? It's sort of a study on how people think. If I want to look at transfers, I go to the transfers tab, right? As opposed to what prisoners tab want to transfer. I don't look at that, right? So it's just something to think about, I guess. So in any case, I don't want to do it, honestly. I really don't, but I don't want to. But I think it's I really don't want to use Free Fire. Free Fire for Supermax only. I really don't want to use this. I'm really against it. And I'd like to find a solution here that solves the problem without doing that. But it doesn't seem like there is a problem, or it doesn't seem like there is a solution. Actually, why would I want to dump that? That is a very expensive remote door, which is just sitting there in a box instead of being moved to storage, which I don't think it will be because it's not prioritizable. So I don't think it will ever be moved to storage. Oh, well. In any case, we're moving this guy back to his cell, which he can then immediately kick off, most likely. No, he should be on lockdown for a little bit. I want to get permanent punishments, but I need money first. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this video here. I'm going to let this play out. Let it earn money, let it build up a little bit. Maybe take a couple of days in game, right? Let it build up some cash. And then when we come back, we'll see the carnage and we'll see whether or not this has been effective at all in deterring them. And see, like, again, snipers are bugged, right? Like, we'll see if it's deterrent at all, right? And then if this isn't going to work the way I thought, then we don't need this many snipers, It is what it is, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.